Okay, we are off to another morning. Yesterday was interesting. I do wish I would have had a better day yesterday. I'm hoping maybe today can make up for it. So right now, uh, everything looks like it has quite a bit of volume. One of the things I'm seeing here on Amazon has an excessive amount of volume on that candle right there, which is making everything miniaturized. I don't know what kind of volume that threw, but that's a lot. So it's making everything else, miniaturization here. So looking at Neo here and Meta as well. Um, hmm. Yes, I did just see. There's one right there. Amazon is attempting to throw an alert this morning. It's good. Yep. Um, so it's about 2 minutes left. It's always frustrating to see him throw an alert that early. I would like it a little bit closer to the open. And I think that just moved up so we can actually take that one if it holds. Of course, it's looks like it's dropping pretty aggressively. It might not actually hold. Neo's jumping through the moon. No entry whatsoever. I do have a new bot that I worked on over the weekend. Or not over the weekend. That I've been working on the past couple of nights. And I kind of finally assembled it completely last night. It has a lot of potential for more stocks and things, so the movements are better, the trends are longer. It actually works on a 5-minute chart instead of a 1 minute, which is automatically does longer trends. So it does look like that one's going to hold. And it did hold. So we're going to be able to take this one right at the open. Or I say right at the open, we have to wait for the first candle first. Just adjusting my things for that one. Okay, yes, yeah. Oh man, it's gonna go down and do the whole thing in one candle. AMD's It's going straight through the roof. Word. This kind of makes me nervous at going down that far. But you know what they say. This is a nice opening range breakout on AMD. You should see that right there. Jumped right to the next candle. Shot straight up. It's a 1 minute ORB on AMD. And also if you look at Neo, did the same thing, only going down. Really nice one. Meta did the same thing here. Broke out there for that one, going down. I do have my stop pretty tight on this one, just because in the morning open, movements, as far as doing full movements, it's a little bit shabby. So obviously I'd like for it to make a full movement, but I couldn't get in right here as the first candle, and there, it kicked me out there. Yeah, that's what I was saying with these. It might be a full move, but you really have to have a good entry on this. So a good entry is back here. This is actually the good entry. So Neo is just dropping like a rock. Meta's trying to throw an entry here. Meta always gives me these fake ones, so I'm a little bit hesitant. And see, this is trying to bounce off this line, but I'm thinking it should come all the way back up to this one. And if it does, that'll be the entry that I really need for this trade. If it doesn't come back up there, then I really can't take that one. I needed to come up and hold this line instead. See, it's kind of holding this one. I don't know. Yeah, you could have gotten in right there. It's just no good. Yeah, AMD had a really great run. I really would like to see what my bot would have done, the other bot would have done on this one. I don't want to be distracted though. But I am going to do some tests today. Maybe you guys can join me for that. Okay, so this one right here. And this one's hesitating. Remember what I told you? This is working a downtrend. It's nice. But I still feel like we got something to be had up here. And everything's just holding so tight. he's gonna run again. Man, I can't believe I didn't get an entry on that one. It's gonna make me want to pull up that other. Look at me. I want to pull that one up. And not getting an entry over here either. Man, seriously? Ugh. Now look, you see Neo went way down and it's coming up and hitting that. So it held above the line. This right here could be a fake out, so it'd be nice if it gave me an entry going above it, because it actually was above it when the market opened. Or it opened above like the VWAP and all these lines. This is frustrating right here. Nice to get the new bot update. Yes, I see this. Yeah, and it's come up and held this white line, which actually gave a pretty good entry point. That would have been pretty good right there. But, like I said, I still feel like it might not have the full thing in it yet. Not that my opinion means anything. It's coming down and testing that new low again. So this is the low a day currently, or the set low of the morning. So it's going to have a tough time breaking it. But if it breaks it and closes below that, that could be. But look at how low this volume is right here. All of it's below the standard that was set this morning. It's rough. So yes, I am swapping over here to see if the bot has thrown anything. I think it's right here. Let's fast forward. Let's go look at Amazon. Fast forward to this morning. So it does have an indicator right there for a short. Let's look at Meta. AMD. The AMD threw a long right there earlier this morning. About Neo. Neo was a little confused. But these second ones are a secondary bot, but this one that's hiding underneath that second one, that's calling a short there on Neo. Look at GameStop. Bed Bath and Beyond. AMC. Wow, AMC's a little psychotic. So, not much activity going on there. Apple got a nice hit there, nice prediction there. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, you can see Amazon wasn't able to break this low, which means not a lot of down pressure, which is kind of what I was thinking on this. It's actually a good sign though, because if it wasn't able to break that low, it could get a good push up here. But and it did just break through one of these lines. It's trying to cross the VWAP here. Now, hopefully, we can get a good move here. There, it's a hold at the VWAP. I don't know. It looks like it broke above it. It's really close. We might be about to get a hit on that one. Yeah, there's no stepping volume down here. If you look at that, there's no real commitment to any particular direction. You could say that there was some commitment right here on this one, maybe. That's where that bottom has formed there. But outside of that, it's kind of just not really setting any bars yet. And you can see Meta is just up here just doing what it normally does, back and forth. Can't figure out anything. It is kind of frustrating right here because, yeah, it did pull down. Neo pulled down, and then it kind of caught a little bit of a wind, like a pullback. This would have been a nice entry right here for that one. But different strategy for that, though, not what I'm actually working. Yeah, you can see the stepping volume, but keep in mind, stepping volume confirms trend lines or support or resistance. So when you see that stepping volume, because it went through it, so you can't, it's not a solid trend line unless it actually holds. So that stepping volume was just like this other one up here on Amazon. It did that step. This one's right here, possible small step here. It did that step, but it just broke right through it, which is what I was telling you. A breakthrough of that support line, that's where it's going to have, where it shows you that support line doesn't hold any merit. So you don't get it unless you get a strong pullback, which down here, look at this. Now you have some stepping volume right there. And this also kind of confirming this little doji candle. And now look what you got. This green bar actually confirms you're going to do a pullback right here. Now it is difficult to tell how much of a pullback, whether it's going to get a whole solid reversal or just do some minor pullback or minor correction. The other thing you can see is, it's holding the line right here, and then it pulls away from this moving average line right down to here, and now it's got to correct. So its correction, on this one could be a pullback up through here up to the VWAP and then dive down again, but it's got to correct. In those correction points, you actually can catch a good entry on those again as they go down. Amazon here, is stuck in kind of a box. I'll show you this box pattern here. It's kind of trapped in this consolidation point. Doesn't really know what to do. Also looks like Meta is also trapped in something similar here. It's just trapped in there and can't actually go any direction. Boxes, you kind of wait for a breakout, but a lot of times you can get a breakout on these and it doesn't do you any good. See, this is pulling down, trying to hit that bottom point. Looks like it broke out, but in reality it has another low point down here, so this could just be a little pull out of that. But I doubt it does any more than this. This is a stepping volume point where you can see it kind of confirmed that it's stuck in a top up here. That green step in volume, kind of shows you the top. Now there isn't really another one that shows a bottom, except for you could kind of look at this one as a confirmation of the bottom. So that's kind of where that bottom of that box is right there. but it's not a real solid confirmation. Um, so yeah, stepping volume goes left to right, so it has to be a step left to right, not right to left. It has to go push and then a final push, getting you right to a line. Oh, you can understand the physics behind that. So this right here kind of set that, it bounced off of that line. Just like I was telling you, this is probably pretty close to a stepping volume on that, as close as you're going to get. But it shows you that the down part of this stock isn't as confirmed as the top part. So this top line up here is a really solid line, but this bottom one isn't that solid. And this did confirm it a little more by pulling back and bouncing off of this. Even though it's not a set green or red volume, it is a step in volume, and then it reversing kind of shows you that this is a pretty solid line. Watch it right up here, stop right there, and you got pushes up above it. But you see that volume just stepped, so there's some sort of confirmation. Let's see what she's gonna do. And see, it looks like it actually broke out of this. But that stepping volume is gonna be some pullback, a little tiny bit. Who knows? Let's see what it does. This is a pretty tight box here. A whole bunch of people, sell right there. That's why you got that step in volume. They all sold off. But the question is which of the people wanted to go up and which of the people are running that box. Being this early in the morning, the box holds a lot of power. We'll see what it does. I know I haven't got any entries at all. Except for that lousy one this morning. Yep, see it holding the top of that line? That's a good sign. That means it broke out and then the top held, like it did a firm break and it held. So right here is a bunch of people getting on board. We just need to see a bunch of volume to kind of confirm that upside. Otherwise, the only thing we did with this step is confirm a new top. And we'll see if it can push out of this. That's pretty nice. Still hesitant there. And you see Amazon still living in the box. Caught the next one, pulled back down again. It's trying to hold high up here, but it's actually just made the top. Now it's going to go make the bottom run down to the bottom there. And we're about to see how strong this box is on Meta. And there we go. See, this back here, remember I got out early, didn't take a big loss on this one. So you're seeing the results of that as well. See, you got stepping volume right there. It's actually a good sign of getting a step in volume a little bit early. But this one's still in a signal downtrend, so, and it's pushing for this 1%. It holds a lot of weight down here. See, yeah, and Meta pulled out of that box, but if you look at it, it's coming right back down. box holds a lot of weight. These lines, all this stuff is all tied up and tangled in here. And I do see Neo is pushing up. Might actually try something here again. But overall, I'd say these stocks were trapped. Now right here, stepping volume, this kind of confirms the box has tightened up a little bit. You know, technically the line is up here, but we won't actually know that unless we get a solid green pullback on this, which it's trying for sure. It did a step and it's trying. We'll see what it actually ends up doing. And you see Meta's holding the bottom of that box again. So I was telling you, comes all the way back down to the bottom of the box. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. So, if you did a measurement off of here, it's 0.30, maybe a 30%, 0.30% move. It's being worked there. Yeah, I'm not much worried about that. It's Neo's gonna try again. Okay, so this is a pretty good sign here, but not the sign we're looking for. This hit right here, this is most likely gonna be a fake out. But we're gonna trade it like it's good. $16. 15, 14. I mean, Neo isn't trapped in a box, so it has potential. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it did hold. I'm gonna wait just a second by. Go ahead and get in. Not the best entry I could have had, but one of the things that the reasons Neo's a little bit lower price stock than the other ones, but one of the reasons it makes it on the list is because of its movement ability. It actually has this, what this gold line up here is for. It actually has the potential to move much farther than the other ones. You can see I didn't get a great entry. The entry is actually for down here, a couple cents off. But it is already hit the white line, so I can do the break-even point. But my stop loss is at a pretty stout point right now. It's not great. As long as we just get a nice push up, should be okay. It's usually about $60, so right now we're pushing a tight, really tight stop loss here. Let's see what she does. Yeah, I see that. See, Meta actually confirmed this one as a new stopping point, which this makes your trend line. Now you have this one down here. This is your first confirmed trend line point for a trend. Now you can begin monitoring, because this one is a nice step. You can begin monitoring for another push down and mark a trend going up. So Meta is trying to form a solid uptrend. Yeah, I see this. Ugh. Come on now. Don't be cruel. So he is pulling back down. It's gonna just kick me right out. That's what he's gonna do. Oh, man. Seriously. this fails right here, which doesn't look like it's going to do. You know, I wanted to jump in right there. Right there. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it's going to try to hold, but at the same time, the trend is actually down. This is an attempt to go up, and it did come down and break it. There you go. I think I'd prefer the down one on this one, if it can actually throw it. I know Amazon's getting a good run. I really didn't get a chance to get on board with that. Yep. Yeah, it's bouncing right now because the VWAP, see, it pulls through. The VWAP's pretty strong. So these lines actually, if it's this close to the VWAP is what matters, not that line. So a bunch of people did this, waited right here, and now they're just buying it up. That's what they're doing. Driving that price up all the way up to that one. This is just depressing. Yeah. I'm gonna go over here and look at what the other bot would have done. So Amazon didn't throw anything. There's a nice clean one on Meta, did throw one there. That would have been an entry right there. AMD, still the early entry. And Neo, looks like it threw that one for that entry. And Apple, go ahead and check GameStop too, nothing there. AMC was another good one. AMC's got a little bit going on there, but not much. But the thing about it is these moves right here, like this is almost double what the move on the other ones that I'm trying to get. These moves are much bigger with this bot, so I'm interested to see how it works. You see, still this one did not do well right there. But I mean, this is a huge bar here. This is huge movement. No entry, and it doesn't look like any entry anytime soon. This is something to take note of. So you have this candle up here, which this candle is a sign of a trend continuation. So I like to look at it like a giant arrow pointing up. Some people look at it like the end of a trend. But with this much volume, it is most certainly like the end of the uptrend or the up move. But this has a sign that it's still got a little bit more in it. So for whatever that means, this one's really close to it, and you can see its push and kind of being held back a little, and then you can see it's hesitating, but then it's got more in it. So this one right here kind of done the same thing. So it's showing you that it's probably an end. But one of the things to look for too is that step in volume. So this is steps, and it has that. This one actually doesn't have the step. Well, there isn't a green step on this one, which would worry me on this setup. Yeah, I can see Neo is gonna come up here and do everything that it was supposed to. But you can see, I mean, that little checkered line right in there, that was my stop loss line for the whole entire thing. You know, I kicked out just a tad bit early right here, but it went way back too far on this one. It's holding pretty good. Could get another run. So see here, up here on Amazon. So this right here, that's what I was saying. You think about it going straight down, but this right here shows it still has a little more life in it, and you can see it did do one more nice run right here. So it did have just a little bit more in it. I usually, once it gets to here and I see this, I wait out this candle to get this next run right here. So you never know. I mean, this is the top of that. Let's see. That's that one. So right now you're looking at it trying to break a trend, which is probably more like this. Something like this. So you could get a bounce off of this that kind of reflects on that line there too. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd like to just after this right here, this is the frustrating one. You can see that. That's frustrating. You can see Amazon is holding that. Now, when I drew this trend line, I drew it off of a key point. So right down here, you can see this step in volume, and then the reversal. So this is the beginning of this uptrend right here, a solid beginning. So what I tried to do is form the best way I could on this bottom here where it actually reversed, and kind of using this. So the line's a little bit gray. You can also see a point right here, it kicking off at this point. So we don't really have a confirmed second one yet, but you do have this kind of confirming the top. You know, it's a top point. There's forming another box up here. But this is the line that it's got to fight with or deal with, is this point and this trend with this line. And we see it break this, and you can see the moving average is now bending over on this. So the stock has to make a correction before it can actually go up. So it did break that trend. I mean, you could say it's drawn like that too. If you wanted to, you could draw it like this. If you wanted to, maybe it's like that. So it's one of the reasons why I don't really draw those, but you can't really draw this line until you have a second confirmation. All you have right now is a first confirmation. You don't have another confirmation up here, and you can only do that with another. See, you have a red step here. We need another red step going down. And right now the stock is still trying to go up. So until we get that red step going down, once we have that, then we'll have 2 points and we'll be able to draw a trend line.
He's acting like he's starving today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's getting really close. It's kind of stuck in a little trap here, but it's gonna push up there and grab that line. So yeah, you could map out down here has something similar. So here's your step. This is indicating this is the bottom point right here. So now you're looking for another, and if you look at your volume, it's got lots of pushes in the up direction, but no down push and stop. So the bottom on this thing is wide open. It could tank at any sort of level right now. There you go, right there. Boom. Man. See, the frustrating part of this is for it to actually hit the profit line. Pulled back all the way down here, way past what it should have, and took off. You know, the bot has a hard time recognizing that the VWAP is this close. Some people don't look at this line here, so when they seen this trend pushing up to here, they were just like, hey, we pulled above the VWAP, let's pull back to the VWAP and get going. So you got to think about it like that line isn't there. So now when you look at it, it goes up, pulls back to the VWAP, and then takes off again. The VWAP holds a lot of power, and if you think about it even that way, you have, you know, a trend going right up through here. And that confirmed, here's your stepping volume here at the bottom. Looking for another confirmation here. Obviously this huge kickoff of this line, which is the VWAP line, technically not necessarily a trend. you have this push and volume here stopping you out on that. But yeah, it would have been easy to recognize as it went up here to draw this trend line and to know that it would come back to that and possibly take off again. But yeah, I haven't really looked at the SPY today. It does look like it had a pretty good run up right there. Actually, it looks like Jade called a nice entry right here for a run up. It didn't make the full 1% move, but it did get a good run up. Yeah, there's 2 minutes left. No solid entries anymore. AMD is inching its way up there. Very slow but solid movement. AMD usually likes to hang out at about $100, so it's actually a little low priced. This was a one clean trade, but that little hiccup there messed it up. Yep, there we go. Alright, well that's it for today. Don't forget to join us for the next work on the other bot this afternoon.